It's 7:30 on Tuesday, December 16th. This is the Conservation Commission meeting. So we have something from, I presume this is either the Finance Committee or that at some point we will need to expend it through.
The budget.
We need, yes, well, for 2026.
We did talk about it last time.
What?
We did talk about it last time.
You did? Oh. Okay. So did you talk about, okay. So this is the Eversource Energy right away. I presume this was the certificate.
Their annual vegetation.
Yeah, they do their annual thing, but you got a certified letter, and that's why I got an email from Kathy saying she had signed for it. So, the vegetation maintenance,
Yes.
for the planned maintenance will involve floor cutting, side pruning, and selective removal of hazard trees that are located along or just beyond the right of way. Yeah, this is the annual thing.
Where's the location?
It's along the railroad or the power lines.
Which one?
Which one?
The great ones.
The ones on the map.
The ones they talk about.
Yeah.
It's a blanket, yes. That- So
Okay.
you can,
Yeah.
if you guys want to look at it, it's just we don't have to do anything. It's them just letting they have to legally let us know.
We don't get to go on a walk like the MBTA.
You can if you want.
Woohoo! I'm in.
Okay, well. So,
It's too cold, I'm out. Yeah.
no, this won't be until the spring.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't do it now.
Yeah.
They're just letting us know that it's going to happen. We'll see
It's
if,
cool to take a read through it.
Yeah.
yeah, there's no date on it. So sometimes you get an email saying, you know, that they're doing it soon, you know, the dates, but. Would anybody like to look at them?
And I'll leave it to you.
Sounds good. No, you take me.
Yeah, well, okay.
This is a notice from Massachusetts Association of Conservation Commission just letting us know our dues for FY27, which we'll probably be getting in May or June, are going to be $489. Just a FYI. Okay, we have payroll for pay ending date 12/6/2025 and 12/13/2025. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
What?
So moved.
No, you have to say motion.
Depends on the word. Okay. Motion to approve.
Okay, second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. This is an email from Carolyn Norkowitz. I don't think that's how. Anyway, about the EOC one-stop it's been a pleasure meeting with you all during expression of interest feedback calls to discuss and following up with information about upcoming webinars. So either one of you, if anybody wants.
The thing we went to.
What?
The thing
Oh, that's
that
what
we
we
went
went
to. Yeah, so I can forward that to everyone.
Oh, that's a grant?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. These don't have page numbers, so I don't know which, if I got them out of order.
I think that's the third page.
Is this the third page?
I think so.
Okay. Okay. So, these are the minutes from December 2nd. Okay. First action item is Ed was going to follow up periodically on 159 Auburn Street.
Excellent, and I have. The pooling continues. I spoke with Delton, and they've tried to add more loam to that section of the property, and it hasn't worked. So I suggested to him to talk with his engineer, landscaping, or surveyor, or whatever, about potentially. Well, he talked to the surveyor, and they were suggesting to put in another drain. PVC drain in that area, draining out back to the dry well that's out back that they installed.
Is this to the left of the property?
Left of the property, yeah.
Which was the problem?
The problem area.
Yeah, this was like, we had a big discussion when our site visit before anything ever started.
Yeah.
So,
Because there were complaints, on it with the zoning board, it was a big deal. So he was gonna run piping, drainage, like they did from the gutters. And when you think about, what I said to him was, I said, when you think about the stream that's coming from the backyard, from the wetlands, it's going along the side of that house, and then it goes across Auburn Street. So I said to him, you should talk to your surveyor or whoever, landscaper, because to me, running a pipe from there, going upstream, is probably not the best way to go. If anything, what might work better is to dig up the soil and run a crushed stone trench from that area
Do a
to
French
the
drain.
front, to the front area. But I said, I'm not a civil engineer, so I can't tell you that that's the exact fix. You got to talk to the right people. But if you're going to do any digging like that, to at least let the board know before you do it. It's outside of the wetland area, but it's within 100-foot buffer. So he's going to have some conversations and figure out if that's the right solution. He likes that one better. It's a little bit cheaper too. So that's still open. I haven't had a chance to walk. I was going to walk the other side of the Auburn Street, the wetlands, which actually goes up behind Wild Turkey as well too. But I haven't had an opportunity to go into the woods yet. The other thing he told me is that on the plan, so on the driveway, when you're pulling on the right-hand side, it's a little rounded. The rounded area is supposed to be edged with crushed stone. And I'm assuming that's to help with erosion control from runoff from whatever, rain, spring, and they didn't install it. The landscaper seems to have some problems reading the plan because it was a landscaper that didn't put it in. So he asked me if it was okay to do it. I said, you should be really following the approved plan because it's already deviated a few times. I said, to make your life easy, I just put it in. That's what everyone approved. That's what you should put in. I said, I'll talk to the board and see if the board's okay with not putting it in. But again, it's one more deviation from the approved plan. So,
yeah, but I don't think crushed rock versus, that's not a game changer to me. It's just I wouldn't say an aesthetic thing, but it kind of is.
Yeah.
It's, yeah.
Yeah, and might have been premium, I'm not sure, but not sure why the crushed stone was there, whether it was just for cosmetic or.
Well, it would be what they want. They put on we don't dictate what they do.
Yeah.
We can't tell them, no, you have to put this kind of tree in or this kind of stone. We that's not in our.
So we wouldn't have any concern not putting it in.
I don't think it has
runoff
anything.
off the driveway.
Yeah, I don't think it has anything to do with us.
No.
Okay.
I think it was just the construction.
Just the construction. Okay.
Now the flooding, we talked, like Dan said, we talked about that, and they were very adamant that we were gonna improve the situation, you're gonna build it
Yeah.
up. Oh, it's gonna be higher than it was before.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna put all these
She's gonna run
plants
off with
in,
this.
yeah.
So,
I haven't-
I'm not surprised, because it's a very good site. So-
Yeah.
And there was a depression on the side of the old house.
Yeah.
You can see the water,
And they had a little bridge.
and a little bridge.
Oh,
Quick
going
bridge
over.
over.
Well,
Over dry
that would be, well, the bridge was like as big as the
Yeah, the cabin.
no, it's that envelope.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was,
But it's just enough to keep the shoes dry.
yeah, keep 1 foot dry and get over it, that, yeah.
That's funny. So in order for them not to put the crushed stone on the approved plan, what needs to happen when you deviate from plans? I mean, obviously the zoning board approved it, the building inspector.
Well, those are cosmetic things. That's not, changing a driveway, that would be something they'd have to go through the building inspector or with us, it's just the draining and the wetlands. We can't tell, or if they have a drain, the wells and things like that. But if they decide not to plant any trees or any flowers, and it's just, they're gonna plant grass,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. And we can't tell
Not
them.
us, but to help counsel him, does he need to go back to the zoning board? I can't
Now you
imagine.
got to call. So you can have-
I'd call the building inspector.
Just
Yeah, I'd be worried to give any advice on that end, but
Right.
if it's not in our order of conditions to say that's the erosion control method or something like that, it'd be hard pressed to say that we can't make it with a stone on the driveway. I
Yeah,
think it was.
he was kind of like, I don't care, I'll do it, it doesn't matter, but
Sure, the project getting to the end and, it's another expense.
that's what he said.
Yeah.
Can avoid the cost. So I'll let him know at least.
Yeah, I would have you just call the
And
building inspector.
then just talk to the building inspector.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Okay. So, Commissioner, to follow up on next steps regarding the pool after reviewing the comments from DEP.
So.
That was
did
tricky
he
then.
give comments for lot tricky?
No,
I didn't, he did.
The
No.
comments,
they just said that it's like, well, you can do this or you can do that. It wasn't like, I mean, the pool's there. My stance is we're not going to make them get rid of the pool. What we need to have them do is not put the hose over the fence and have the drain or whatever go in a different direction.
yeah.
That's what, I mean,
So we struggled with, because the certificate of completion is already signed. how
no,
do
it's
we-
not.
Oh, it's not?
We didn't sign it.
We didn't sign it, but we kind of give
We-
approval to. sell
I
the
wrote them a
property.
letter saying as long as everything goes well. It's not, it was as long as.
Yeah.
It didn't say, yes, we're gonna approve it.
So,
So I said we'd approve it if, and I explained that to
Yeah.
Ava, whatever that lady's name, the realtor's name is. And I explained that to her. I go, if there's something, that we're not going to approve it. So it's not, they don't have a certificate of compliance.
so I guess we sort of struggled with, how do we get them an order of conditions? Should we have them do an NOI? Or can we attach an order of conditions to the certificate of completion? Because the other piece is that the pool was never permitted, so it was never inspected by the building inspector, and from a safety perspective, which probably happened, and Lewis agreed that they would want it
Well,
as well too.
the building inspector needs to be notified and he needs to go do his own separate thing.
Yeah.
We don't have control over the inspection of the pool.
Yeah,
We also need to notify the assessor's office that there's a pool
Yeah.
and then there's a shed, because those are taxable things.
Yeah.
And if they weren't permitted, then probably the assessor's office does not know about them.
Right.
So we need to let them know. But we can issue an order of completion or a certificate of compliance for what was done, because it has been completed.
Sure.
It's just, I have to read through what Peter had suggested
I'm
about
just looking for,
how going about, I think we could just write them a letter saying that this needs to be done. If it's not done, we can do a work enforcement or something. We can have them kind of like what we did for, kind of think, who did we do one for? New World. So there was never an order or condition.
Mhm.
So we didn't I issued a work enforcement order, but it's different because it wasn't under order or conditions.
Mhm, right.
So we can use that form but it's a separate thing.
with some conditions moving forward, moving the drainage and the
Yeah.
backwash holes to the other side of the yard.
Which they can do in that folder. I put the map, I took a map and I took measurements, and it's inside the wild turkey folder. And they could easily move the filter to the other side of the pool, and then they're far enough away. The other thing too is, some literature I've read, before you drain the pool, you let it sit for 7 days with no chemicals. Let everything, the chlorine dissipate off, and then you're okay to dump it. So steps like that, I totally, support. And it was a question, how do we make sure he knows? And then I did notify the assessor's office, but we no longer have an assessor. So it wasn't clear how that was going to get.
Yeah, I was wondering, it was that the let go, quit.
That's my understanding.
Yeah.
So I did let the assessor's office know, but she doesn't know how that's going to get handled.
Don't
So
they
she
have
put
an
it on the list.
assistant assessor?
I don't think so.
I think they might have the person who was temporary before, I think they brought her back in.
Okay.
Yeah, because Lisa's been in the office, but I haven't seen anything else.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. And Jimmy, the building inspector, is well aware. I think he's kind of waiting on us too, how we're going to handle it, and then make a difference on how he handles it. It's going to be totally separate.
Yeah, I think we handle with them, circuit compliant with a work order letter.
Yeah.
Say that, so moving forward, this is what you need to do.
Yeah.
I don't know about moving the filter, but just moving the backwash, just destination, you can hose it around it, or, yeah. So it's kind of-
Yeah, and if one of you guys want to write something up, that's what needs to be done.
Sure.
Me, because I saw the pictures, I didn't do it. So all I saw was the hose and what you guys were talking about. So that way I can add it to work enforcement.
There also, when I went and visited, there were empty bottles of antifreeze as well too. So the question would be, are we okay with antifreeze getting dumped on the ground?
No.
Right. So
Well, and that was what I told the realtor, that if there's anything in the wetlands or near it, you're not going to get approved. It needs to be cleaned up.
yeah,
So we can hold off, and you can notify her and tell her to inform the new owners. All that needs to be, any bottles, trash, needs to be cleaned up before we issue
you want
the.
me to just go to the new owners because I've already talked to them.
Yeah, just tell them we're not going to issue a order of certificate of compliance until all that's cleaned up.
Okay, and I'll let them know we're going to be sending a letter.
Yes,
Specific details.
yes.
There's the three things: backwash, hose on the side of the pool.
And it will tell them when they're going to have, it's a work enforcement, so it's like, here it is, and you need to come before us and tell us how you're going to fix it.
Let the pool sit for 7 days before dumping it, and no antifreeze. Okay.
And why you have antifreeze in your backyard? That's my pool.
I was like, what?
This stuff doesn't surprise me anymore. Okay. Then Columbia Auto Body.
Okay, so Columbia Auto Body, I reported on my findings from that site visit.
Did
and-
you contact DEP?
No, I think we have on the list that we were gonna write a letter and have them come in front of the board.
No, I think we're gonna send an email to DEP, it's just guidance.
Yeah, permission to write letter to
So, yeah,
owner of
that's-
Columbia Auto Body
I think that's.
and contact DEP for comment.
I can finish, I definitely started like a 4-hour response, so.
To the DEP?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll send you guys a quick draft and we'll just fire it to Peter and then see what he says. But there's gotta be some kind of regulatory, either an after the fact notice of intent and to put a building there and then,
Yeah, so did he get a building permit?
He did not. There was no building permit. So,
Why am I not surprised?
yeah, right, and, so
He's just- He's a repeat offender.
it's on the wetland side of the building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, clearly it's.
It's on the wetland, in the wetlands?
In the
No,
100-foot buffer.
no, 100 bucks.
And they cut down a pretty big tree and threw it into the woods, which was a mistake because I figured it right out. And that, yeah, the building was not permitted. It's 2 garages. They were supposed to, 3 of the 4 wetland signs are missing. The basins were in good shape. They were taking care of the basins. Water was flowing. But then in the back of the property, they had used a bulldozer or a front-end loader and went into the 100-foot buffer and moved soil and placed a container in that area. So, again, I pointed that out.
They need to move the container now.
Yeah, you can't be doing that. And I met with the manager, not the owner. And then there was just a lot of trash in the back. And I said,
Okay,
you gotta
so-
get that out of there. Let's see
Yeah,
what's in
If they don't do
back.
anything within the next 2 weeks, we're gonna issue
No,
a.
yeah, we need to do something, we need to notify them formally because I was talking to the manager and he wasn't taking notes, he's not gonna care.
Okay,
Go
then,
back
We need to send a letter to them or something.
Yeah.
okay.
Photos and then do their letter with photos and say this is. I'm sorry.
And I have
This-
photos, yeah, I do have photos.
Okay, then,
Maybe just get some
I
time.
need to, do a work enforcement for them.
Yeah.
Then I need the folder back, because I need that to write the,
Yeah, and actually in here, so I had sent you guys an email,
yeah,
there they all are.
yep,
And I figured, put it in there, that way it's documented, you
Yep.
know what I mean?
All right.
yeah. So this one's wild turkey,
Oh, yeah.
or whatever it's called. So I'll do the form and then we can add the letter to it.
Sounds good.
Okay. Oh, so I didn't read the minutes. What type of, for the ARAD, what were they seeking? Like, is it, there's boxes on the thing and I didn't print the thing, but it's like, are they a -3 or did you ask them?
I had it before, I think it was a 3.
Okay.
The 3.
I'll look on the thing. I don't have it.
I think
I
it was a
didn't
3.
bring it with me, so, okay. Because I didn't have time to
Okay.
do the form. Oh, and I'd already submitted the budget, so they have it.
Okay. Or made it official.
But,
We talked about it.
yeah. Well, it's,
It is what it is.
it is what it is. It's you get a 2 or whatever the increase was, and expense stayed the same, so. Okay, let's see. Follow up on how other towns handle the receipt and counting of fine revenues. What's that?
So part of the question, when we were talking about sort of the bylaws, the question was, with respect to the budget, with the new bylaws, if we start to impose fees and/or violations, how is that accounted for in the budget? Where is it?
It's not.
contained? Yeah, so,
It's because it's kind of like our notice of intent fund. It has nothing to do. It's outside the budget.
yeah.
It's not funded by the town. It's funded by the fines. So, like for the for the 2 ponds, it's like whatever revenue we bring in from the housing projects, that goes into that account, and that's the account we use to fund that. If that account dries up, which it has in the past, there's the town. Well, it's
No more.
there's no more maintenance for Hobart or Harding Pond
Yeah, okay.
until we have more money. That's just so this would be outside that, and we just call it a different account.
Yeah, okay, perfect. I think that lines up with, Erica looked at other towns as well, too, so it lines up.
Sorry, I'm taking so long, but I wasn't here. And,
There's a lot of action items, too. I want to remember my name.
you're going to report back on the OCPC.
Yeah, I have one just before that on the DPW. So it's regarding the grant that we've been investigating for the replacement of the Hobart Pond Dam. And I spoke with Bruce Martin about whether or not he'd be able to help drive that grant, and what documents that he might have with respect to the Hobart Dam. And he said he told me a few years back, Frank Lyman was very interested in what it would cost to take care of the dam. And roughly, as you recall, it was around $350,000 to remove the dam, and $1.5 million to replace the dam. Joke. But obviously, removing the dam is not something that anybody, is looking to do. And even when we spoke with the grant folks, they said no, it would be a replacement. So he's going to look back in his files and see what he has. He's not sure that there were any engineering studies, and so whether or not we need to do that, we still need to figure out on the application what they're actually looking for. But Bruce did say that he would be willing to help write the grant. But he's currently doing one now for streets, and he needs to get through that first. And then he'll help focus on the Hobart Dam. But he thought it was a good
I know I have
The Harding Dam.
No, Hobart Pond. Yeah.
I have files for both Harding and Hobart at my house because of before lack of security. So I can bring them next time and you can go through them.
Yeah, it'd be great. And when I did speak to him about Harding Dam, because I remember when I was a DPW commissioner that day, DPW did work. And in fact, they did. They replaced that culvert. However, there was no engineering plans. So the state records on that culvert are probably outdated. Because the state wasn't notified because they didn't have engineering documents and they didn't get done.
When
So
was that?
Oh boy, we're probably talking 15 years ago maybe.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. But I remember they were doing the work. I
Right.
just couldn't remember whether they just did the head wall, but I think they did the culvert all the way across. But they did do the head wall, and
They did do the head wall,
they did rebar.
but I don't
rebar, and-
I don't remember them doing underneath the whole street though.
Yeah,
You'd have to, they put new fencing on the other side, but I haven't climbed down there to see. I don't,
but I think for the purpose of the grant, and Erica, correct me if I'm wrong, they was more interested in doing the Hobart Pond.
They didn't really have any information about the other one. They didn't even recognize it as a dam.
Yeah. But it's a little dicey too, because the Hobart Pond, the dam, if it lets go, it's a low risk to person and property. Because we've got the Shinnecock River going, you know, it's,
I thought the Harding Dam had a number and Hobart Dam didn't have a number.
I think they both do.
Yeah. I think Harding was higher. It was,
Harding is definitely more
yeah, more
severity.
Yeah.
hazardous.
Hazard.
Yeah.
yeah, because it's a street. I mean,
Uphill.
Maybe.
all the
Yeah.
way. In the new middle school.
Yeah. But that's had work done with it. So, but the good thing is Bruce said, you know, he's willing to look at it. I mean, the timing was tight because it's January 8th, right? If I remember right.
I think it's in that email. I think it's right there. I don't know.
So
Seema?
The dates are on it.
what I'd actually propose, and hopefully you're agreeable to it, but once Bruce has his stuff together, maybe you could join for a meeting with Bruce to help download the information from, you know, the grant folks.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the Hobart Pond. And the next one is regarding the OCPC meeting regarding land grants. So I attended the meeting, and Leanne was on the call as well too. It was a very informative meeting, and I think that it's feasible for us to use it at some point. But the downside to it, if there is a downside, is that it's a 50% reimbursement. So we need to be able to cover 50% of the cost and then cover the other half. The other piece is timing with respect to projects. They don't award until the fall timeframe. So anything that we might have on the horizon right now, which we do for open space planning, if you will, the timing just doesn't work out. So I did talk with Melissa Crane, who's the state reviewer for our open space plan, and she mentioned that there is a state land grant as well too. That is something that we might want to look forward to, you know, take an opportunity of. But again, that's not until May. So it was a good meeting. It was, you know, good to meet, you know, the folks over at the headquarters and Melissa as well. We had a good conversation.
okay, let's see. And they were, separately about the middle school project, but it's already on the thing. And then follow up with Steve about Harvard Street project.
Yeah, so when I went and did my last inspection, there were a couple of items that that Steve needed to address with respect to erosion control. And he did put the DEP sign up. I don't know if he hasn't told me that they took care of the erosion issues, you know, the silk fence out front, and I haven't been by. But I hadn't heard from him in a while, so I sent him a text and I asked regarding the erosion control in the back of the property along the intermittent stream, because they've completely cleared that lot. I drove by tonight and you can actually see right through with the lights. And I told him, I said, let me know, you know, you can't do anything, let me know when that erosion control is ready for inspection, I'll come out, I don't have a problem doing that. And I haven't heard from him. And I also asked about the SWPP miner, and he responded back to me, and this was December 3rd. They haven't installed the erosion control out back, and as soon as he's got some equipment on, they'll start stumping, and they'll get that in place first. And he said that they emailed a copy of the SWIP to Sandy, and he did send me a copy as well too.
Yeah, but they gotta have a copy on site.
And that's gonna be the
And
interesting,
they gotta have the inspections on site.
yeah, that's gonna be the interesting piece, because right now, where do they put those? There's no building, and,
I did,
yeah, so I haven't heard from them,
put it in
so,
the truck.
yeah, I drove by
Yeah.
this evening, and there's an excavator out front, and another piece of equipment too, so, you know, it was dark, so I couldn't really see, but we might wanna just notify them to say, hey, you know, you've still got some outstanding actions, you know, in order to go on the project. And we don't want to slow them down, but at the same time, you know, it just needs to be
Okay.
really communicative.
All right.
So I'm fine to send them a text, but if you think it would be better for something from the board to say, you know, hey, it's been a little while, just want to follow up, it's up to you guys either way.
I'd say since you've been in communication, it's easier than me
Sure.
just like, because if he asks me a question, it's like, oh, I'll have to talk to Ed. And that, you know. Let's see. Okay.
Okay?
Hopefully, this is the right email. Hopefully that I sent and forwarded. Okay. Oh, John. Respond to John while I'm thinking about it. No, stop. Just so he's. Okay. I think all you were on the thing. Okay. So I'm gonna have he could drop the registry piece of paper off to me, and then he can go ahead and if I can install just the silt fence for now and get it inspected before. Yes. Okay.
This is lot 2, Clinton.
Right, go see.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Okay. Right.
Sorry.
You better do it quick while it's thawing.
I know.
Yeah.
Pound those stakes to the ground, the frost.
Oh, it's frozen right now, man.
Yeah.
So fence install. Okay. Okay. Da, 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 da. Yeah, we're gonna talk about the middle school. Da, 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 da.
You want to vote on that minutes?
Okay. What?
Oh, I thought you were done. Okay.
My last one is regarding Rose Way, and like
Yes.
when Matt presents, we'll talk about that one.
Okay. So, any changes to the December 2nd meeting?
I
Questions?
think any changes are going to be caught up in today's minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need a motion.
Motion approved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. This is me for Columbia. Oh, I also need for this side too. Okay. So we are going to talk about the middle school culverts plan.
Yes. So, as you're all aware, there's the dual culvert that runs under the rightmost field, Johnson Field area. They've had some camera inspection done of the two culverts and have noticed some deterioration. So I guess there's currently 3 options that are being presented to ownership. Either just fixing, recapping the pipes as necessary, and then there's either replacing it with a concrete box culvert roughly the same size, or currently it has corrugated metal pipe arches, replacing the exact same type of material in the exact same place, same inverts, same everything. So the owner has not, the town hasn't made any decision yet. We're just kind of starting the process of discussing this and wanted to present it to you guys and kind of figure out the pathway forward. Do we amend our current NOI? Do we completely resubmit? Kind of what?
What size is the pipe?
It's two 36 by 56.
56 feet long?
It's a 56 inch by 36 inch corrugated metal pipe dual.
What's
So
the
it's-
length?
56 inches wide, 36 inches tall.
And how long?
Let's see.
Oh, I think it's
What
like
is that?
100.
Like 450 feet.
Yeah, 450. It goes under the
It
soccer
goes
field.
completely underneath the soccer field.
And the entire length is going to be replaced.
Yeah.
Potentially. So the options that are being presented to ownership are either do we just replace, kind of repair what's failing right now?
They don't have any
It's
CIP, they don't do anything of that expandable foam and rehabbing pipes that way with stormwater, right?
I mean, it's possible, but with how large
Yeah.
these are, I think that would almost be cost prohibitive.
So that goes under
The whole soccer.
The whole soccer field
all the
under
way to the other side of the
and
church?
under the driveway
Yeah.
and to the corner.
Really?
Yes,
Wow.
yeah. So we don't know how old they are. No one knows. The records on them aren't the best. They've been there for a very long time.
I mean, middle school was
Sorry.
built in '73, so
Yeah.
at least that.
And you can see the ends are deteriorating, they're rusted, they're falling apart. Yeah, so
I
the
noticed
thought
that when
is
we did the
we're
first-
building this brand new, beautiful middle school.
Is the entire length in the area disturbance already of our existing
Yes.
approval?
Entirely within the LD.
Okay.
Yep, it's just it's another, we'd have to actually go into the wetlands, obviously, because it's the two ends of the pipe are within.
Then
But
I
if you do a
think
box, I'm sorry,
you would have, well, you can keep on listening, but maybe an amended order of conditions, just for the fact that that's,
it's getting pretty intrusive though. I mean, if they do a box culvert, they're gonna have to dam it up and pump it around.
So the idea is to
Do the
keep
box.
one of them open
Okay, all the time.
while they work on the one side. Once that's complete, flip flop, utilize the brand new, work on the
And that's a
There's
concrete
two.
box for each.
There's two concrete head walls on either side, and then
Yeah.
it's corrugated metal pipe arch. So it's like that all along.
So we would stay with the corrugated metal.
So the options they're looking at are either replacing it with a concrete box culvert, which would have a longer life, but also
Yeah.
a much larger cost. A corrugated metal pipe arch, again, so basically the same product, just to current standards. I think the exact size that's currently there isn't standard anymore, so it would be like 2 inches longer than.
how much,
Yes.
like, ballpark, money-wise are you talking?
We have not gotten cost back from the contractor yet.
When I saw the materials you were using, my first thought, when I didn't know the size of it, is why not HDPE, something that's a little more sustainable. But is it possible to do the box under the road and then corrugate it the rest of the way? Just because I think, the traffic,
Yeah.
buses and all that stuff going over it, maybe that's,
Yeah, that'd be a happy
deteriorating
medium
the
between.
corrugated.
Mhm.
So that's something that's feasible?
Yeah,
you think?
Yeah, I mean, for
they've
our
made
purpose, I
no
think.
concrete decisions. It's very much so in the
I
kind of
think what
conversation
I'm
phase.
most concerned about is the construction methods, that's all. Are you blocking the stream and pumping around, you're leaving one channel open and hoping we're not gonna get a flood event, and that can handle a flood, and doing one long run,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're gonna do one long run too? It's trench gonna be open. I think, and then how do you stop any, silt and sort of get it into the
They would need to
wetlands
set up erosion controls.
on the backside, so it
Specifically
doesn't
for
go down.
this. Yep.
I think construction methods is my.
Construction methods could be a condition.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna have to be, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, just to clarify, who is the decision maker? exactly?
The town.
But who exactly? Like the building
I don't
committee?
know if it's
Who
the
is-
superintendent. I'm not, when they mentioned
let's
ownership,
not
I'm
go
not
there.
sure who specifically within the
It
public
might be the middle
schools.
school building committee, that's the land.
There is,
Yeah,
there
they
is a
do-
building committee,
Yeah.
so is that, okay.
That would be,
Yeah.
yeah.
I understand that's the case.
I can clarify who, like, when
Yes.
we refer to ownership, like who specifically
Yeah,
has.
thank you. Yeah, I just would be
that power.
curious.
But I'd love to have our, or some kind of construction methods discussion part of that decision-making process.
Yes.
Yeah, just because like
They
they don't
need to.
know necessarily. Like
They don't know anything about what we do. Well,
right,
I'm
that's
not
what
saying.
I'm worried is, they're going to go. I'm sure their perspective is going to be a cost perspective.
Yes.
So
They're,
we're not going
they're represented by their owner's project manager who work in
Mm-hmm.
this industry, so
Okay.
it's also their job to kind of
Yeah. Okay.
present this.
Okay.
Yeah,
good.
but
All right.
we need to be
Yeah.
at the table.
That's what. Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, because I
Which is why I'm here.
Well, I
Thank
think
you.
what they're
Thank
saying is once they determine what they want to do, they got to come in here and propose an amended.
yes.
I know. I just want
Yes.
to get in front of it.
We're gonna
Like.
be-
Yeah.
We're gonna have whack at the apples then.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't want to wait till because we're the last
Yeah.
thing. I'd rather get ahead of it because
Let's. Yeah.
if they choose something and go through the whole process and they get to us and we say no,
Yeah.
then you're gonna have to start all over. So we need to, I think,
This
be
would.
part of the discussion. I mean, obviously, we're not the decision maker for the cost and all that,
Yeah.
but we need to be involved in
Provide
whatever.
our perspective and
Yeah.
just the awareness of the presence of the wetlands. Just
Yes.
everything the considerations you guys just said.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Is the type of material going to change the velocity going through it and into the downstream wetland? The corrugated pipe, it's got the rivets and it's going to,
That would be the same.
You
The
put a-
concrete box
you
culvert.
put a nice
definitely.
concrete culvert in there. It's going to
Yep.
be, you might change the
It
dynamic
might,
of wet
yes,
down.
with a different material. It would have a different coefficient.
Hmm.
All things to be considered. It's
Yeah.
very early, so if you have
Yeah.
recommendations like you mentioned, doing the box culvert under the roadway, the corrugated metal pipe throughout, so we kind of get that structural underneath the roadway, but save on cost potentially with the CMP elsewhere.
I don't think we're surprised either, because when we did walk it,
Well, yeah.
we had that conversation about them being replaced, so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I
It's good
think
timing to do it now.
Oh,
Yeah.
an amended order of conditions would be the right thing. And then, like I said, we need to be involved in that conversation with them.
Yep.
Because I don't want them thinking of one thing and because of cost, and then we get to the end and it's like, no, that's not going to work. So
Understood.
Unless there's going to be, mitigating the wetlands, they're going to be filling in wetlands on one side and trying to mitigate or create wetlands on the other side. That would be a different thing because we don't have that in our existing NOI.
Right.
So as long as we can match it, we're not filling any.
Right.
The culvert part, right, where it touches the wetland, the resource areas, that's pretty much being the same footprint.
Right. Ideally, we replicate exactly what
Yeah,
we
okay.
disturbed.
And I think if that's the case, I think Sid is correct. I think the amended order conditions with a nice proposed scope of work and construction methods and figures, and then we could rate our amended order conditions to
Yep.
match that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Good.
That was easy, huh?
Yeah. Sorry it took so long going over the minutes. I should have stopped. But
It's been a busy fourth quarter.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that would, yeah, okay. No more questions? You're good on that? Okay. Okay.
Yeah, anything else pops up, just email the group and we'll get through.
Yep. Will do.
So next is the Flattery Trail.
Blair Trail.
Is that right? Okay.
Hey guys.
Hello.
So I don't think I've officially met you guys yet.
Brian up here.
Nice to meet you. So, hi, Matt.
Oh, yeah.
So, hi.
Sandy Cortez.
Matt Dyer. Nice to meet
Meet
you. Alina.
Yep. Thank you.
Thanks, Stephanie.
Thanks, guys.
Maybe next walk will be warmer than the last.
Yeah.
We haven't had the best luck.
We don't, yeah, it's either muddy or cold or both.
I know you. So I work for Old Colony Planning. I'm a senior transportation planner. Part of my job is multimodal transportation, and part of that is multi-use pathways, hiking trails, and whatnot. Trying to expand on that. And one particular project, as you guys know, that I've been working with the town of East Bridgewater, and they were talking about building a rail trail on the old Colony line down Flaherty Trail. And with these trail systems, the best way to kind of get funding is to make them a regional significance. And here in the southeast of Massachusetts, we don't have any trails, and there's no regional significance when it comes to rail trails or whatnot. We have the Bay Circuit Trail, but that's not necessarily bike friendly. So with the rail trail, working with the town of East Bridgewater, working on the old Colony line, which is now the Flaherty Trail, which is on the southern portion of the map right here. In the town of Whitman, the town owns the Flaherty Trail, and it's relatively maintained, and it's a really great, solid start to maybe making this rail trail from Whitman to East Bridgewater. But so with that, I said, well, what if we went north? And when we went on our walks with Ed and Ryan Tully and Jason Dossier, but when the town was doing their open space plan, and Leanne was at the initial meeting at Restoration, we were talking about, well, how else can we expound on this potential opportunity? So then we were talking to maybe go through Bear Meadow, and then maybe go up the boulevard, and then maybe go through Bear Meadow and connect it to Abington. And then part of my job is look at the region as a whole and try to have all the towns work together. So we were talking about maybe having this trail run up to Abington and connect to the Abington, Rockland, Hanover Rail Trail. So then at this point we'd be able to ride our bikes from Hanover all the way down to Bridgewater. I'm trying to connect it to Bridgewater State University so you can have some good anchor points. But then also, too, the other day I was playing on the map, and we could potentially go in Abington, if our partners in Abington want to do it, is to go up to the Weymouth Airfield as well. So that way you'd have some really great connectivity throughout the region and whatnot. So this past year, Ed, Ryan, Jason, and I had walked part of it and kind of did a little bit of scoping. Last night we actually met as a group with Leanne as well. And we kind of looked at I had a bigger map. We kind of just looked at things and just kind of verified this is kind of the direction. Right now we're just at the very preliminary stage of things, where whatever's on paper isn't solid. You know, we can always move things around and no big deal. It's just kind of feeling temperature if this is what the town of Whitman would be interested in doing. And if we get support as we go along, we can start making some more solidified decisions of like, oh yeah, let's go up Old Coach Road or Rosen Way or whatever it may be. So, but the idea for tonight is just kind of feel the temperature and check in with my friends in the conservation department and kind of just seek your support. And I know the biggest question of it all is money, right? It's that's always
Not my question.
right. So the nice part is I'm working for Old Colony Planning. Part of my pay is coming through MassDOT and the Unified Work Plan program. So I get paid through MassDOT to kind of draft these kind of things. And I'm a resource for the town of Whitman if this is the direction that you guys would like to go in. So I can kind of do a lot of the heavy lifting of kind of like where does this go and whatnot. And then to building out the trail. We live in a really great state. The Commonwealth is putting a lot of money now into multimodal transportation. So we have the Mass Trails Grant coming up. MassDOT actually puts money into these kind of projects. And then We can also get some funding and line items from the state house as well to kind of support these projects. The Executive Office of Energy and Environmental Affairs, they've kind of made a committee with all these different partners and all these different departments to try to help move these projects along. So when you look at their priority plan, they have all these priorities all across the Commonwealth except for the Southeast region. So I'm trying to change that. So, but their first thing was, there's no room down there to do these kind of projects. So, off the record, I want to prove them wrong on that. So that's kind of where we are right now. So this is just like a very rough draft. Getting back to the project itself, Whitman is actually in a really great position because a lot of this is already on town land. So we're not really having to go get individual easements. Unlike the town of East Bridgewater, they didn't take control of the old railroad easement, and it all went back to private owners. So now we have to talk to, I think it's like 24 property owners to try to get easements and try to work with 24 individuals to get that. But here in Whitman, I think it was just 4 or 5 individuals really that we would just have to kind of work with. So that's kind of the very high level view of it. And I'm happy to take any questions.
So when you say the bike path, so like in Hanover, like when I go to the mall,
Yep.
I think it's 123. I go the back way. But anyway, there's, I don't know, it looks maybe 4 feet wide asphalt that goes beside the street, highway, whatever, and goes through the trees and stuff like that. Is that the bike path you're talking about?
So I believe it might be. So it should be 10 to 12 feet wide.
No. Yeah, but I'm driving, so I'm not like, yeah.
When you're driving, it might be a little bit smaller.
But yeah, I think there's even I don't know if there's a line in it, to
exactly.
split it in half so people know which,
Yep.
bikes or people, here's the highway.
Yep. Exactly.
But that's what it is. Okay.
Yep.
And does it go so in Abington, where the old railroad tracks are? No, Rockland. It's not Abington.
Someone's got it then.
They have it used to be where the Dunkin' Donuts was. Is it Webster Street maybe? But there's an old railroad line that I think it's a trail too, but I don't know, is that going to be part of what you're talking about in Rockland?
So in Rockland, I'm not positive on that particular little piece if it's not already built out.
Yeah. Because it goes like Webster Street. All I know is I know it's Webster. I think it's Webster Street, and then it's the big intersection with the light. And it's in a weird curves like this. There's like a taekwondo or
that's the rail trail.
Yeah, there's some rail tracks, but then there's like a trail.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know if that was going to be part of potentially.
Potentially, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right in the center. I'm talking about in the center.
I guess you'd call
Center
it.
of
the center.
Rockland.
Well,
it crosses the main road. Main Street.
Yeah. So in Rockland, in that area, I'm not sure, unfortunately, because it's funny how they drew out the regional planning agencies. So you have Abington, Rockland. Rockland actually belongs to the Boston NPO. And then Hanover. So it's like this weird U shape. It's like
it makes no sense.
it makes no sense. I didn't draw the lines, but unfortunately, I can't really speak to what their ambitions in Rockland would be. I would hope that they would want to expound on it because it would be a really great.
No, I'm all for it. I mean, that sounds.
And just to add to it too, so this trail connectivity is part of the open space plan initiatives. So this fits in
Yeah,
pretty
It
nicely.
is kind of crazy when you're coming with and all of a sudden you're going like, still a little bit more kind of loose rather than straight lines.
And the other piece too, just to sort of point out, is a lot of the property that this trail would go through is under Conservation Commission jurisdiction. But what I would want to point out is up by the dump, The intention is to go across Port Meadow over to Summer Street into Abington. And when we took a walk and we looked at it, the thought at the time was to go across from behind the DPW over towards the senior center. Whether or not that's feasible or not, or whether we need to go, further down Summer Street, we still need to sort of figure out. And we had a conversation regarding building a boardwalk, above that meadow, because obviously that's directly impacting wetlands, but there's structures that are built specifically for this, is my understanding.
Correct, yep. Yep, and to your point, Ed, so where we are in the grand scheme of it is just right now, just kind of gathering support with our partners. The next step to this would be a feasibility study. So we would get raised funds through whatever means. I'm aiming for Mass Trails in February. It might be a quick turnaround, but fingers crossed. If we can do it, that'd be great. But we'd get the money to do a feasibility study. That would have the engineers come in, because unfortunately I'm not an engineer. But we'd have the engineers kind of come in and say, for Hobart Meadow or Bear Brook Meadow, we recommend to go to the right, go to the left to minimize these impacts. So that's the nice part about the next step would be we get to pay someone else to do the hard conversation, the hard thinking. I get to just draw on the map and call it a day, and kind of coordinate folks.
But just to gauge, there would be, the idea is that we would go across. So just to gauge, so there's no surprises.
Yeah.
That's going to come.
Yeah.
So that's great.
And with respect to the action item I had on Rose Way, so Rose Way, that property is owned by Ritter. So I think, given our conversation, it's right
Rose
here.
Way.
Yeah, Rose Way. At the end of Rose Way,
Well, I know.
that cul-de-sac. So that's this big property right here.
I thought it was owned by the brothers that have the Toyota dealership in Braintree.
No.
On Trifecta?
Yes.
Nope. It's right here.
Maybe they bought it.
Maybe, I don't know. So my intention has been to go and speak to the owners. So this will just put more heightened pressure on me to go do it.
Okay.
And whether or not, we get a right of way for this, or whether it's a matter of getting a donation to the town, one way or the other, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I don't know. Considering they have the golf course, I don't know if they'd really want.
Yeah, that area they don't necessarily use. So. But again, it's the conversation to have.
Yep.
And if at least getting the opportunity to bring the trail through there, then it's a matter of just having conversations with McCarthy's, which I told these guys I met the new owners. But anyways.
Yep. So, and then just one more point to add off of that is on the map the parcels that are outlined right here. That's really the only private property that we'd have to go through. Everything else is on town property. So that's it. So that's all I had for you guys. I was just kind of come by, introduce myself, gauge the interest, and if you guys are interested in it, it might be the next steps would be to get a letter of support from you guys, and then also maybe go before the select board, just to kind of get their blessing as well, and then we can kind of start engaging with property owners to say this is the intent of the town. Would you want to be part of this great lasting legacy, not only to the town but to the southeast region? So that's kind of where we are with that.
All right.
All right.
Oh, Ed, you want to spearhead that letter of support?
Sure.
Since, you two have been all over it and everything, so.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah, no, it's a great idea.
This has been exciting, just so you know.
No, that sounds
The
great.
map runs the drones.
That's where you're going, because you
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We did.
We're looking for Dinosaur Rock.
Retired guy.
He's all giddy now. Oh, you got a drone.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. Nice work.
Well, great,
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah,
Thank you
that'd
for
be
having me
great,
tonight.
yeah.
This was fun, believe it or
Yeah.
not. I'm actually Massachusetts Association Conservation Commissioner Fundamentals graduate.
Oh,
So I love coming to
Great.
conservation meetings and culverts. That's the other thing I do at OCTC's culverts and
Oh.
So
trails.
stay tuned on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what a night, what a night. You know?
exciting.
Beautiful.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank
Nice
you.
meeting you guys.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thanks.
Good luck.
Okay. Yeah. Are you guys up for
I got,
bylaws?
So,
I
yeah.
got two things if we
Oh.
could real quick.
Yep.
Just to give you an update, sorry. One was the 63 Dewey. You'd asked
The
me to
what?
get 63 Dewey.
Oh, yes.
That I did look at it for site inspections. And there's a vernal pool that's right next door in the stream. So I did notify the real estate agent, so they'll figure
There's a
Wait, where is it?
certified vertical?
I believe it is certified. It's
There's
on-
only one certified in Whitman.
That's
It's
the
on
one-
Joyce
Joyce
Terrace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our awesome neighbor made sure that
Yes.
was on there.
Yeah.
It's on the map. It's on the GIS.
On Dewey?
On Dewey, yeah.
I've never seen it.
I never seen it either.
Yeah.
It didn't come
Yeah,
up during the
there's
open
a stream that goes from that, runs behind the
It's got
houses.
a little
It goes
salamander and a
across.
white circle.
Oh, it may not have that.
Yeah, it's gonna have.
It's gonna be, yeah, it's a whole process to do.
Yeah.
Symbol.
That's yeah.
Yeah,
That lady went through a lot.
she did,
Yeah.
which
She
was
did her
nice.
homework.
There's a pond.
Okay, there's something
Yes.
there. I can't,
Yes.
yeah.
There's a body on
Sorry,
water.
there's something
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah.
But if they want to do it, there's a process.
Yeah.
You gotta
Yeah.
be involved. They
Yeah.
want to look at it. That's just right.
Which I told them, and so
There's more out there, but I guarantee it.
I'm
There's
sure,
not much.
yeah.
yeah, we haven't seen them yet. So I did notify them, and they'll take it from there and figure out what they're gonna do. I don't know if they want me to build back there or what we can maybe. There's two lots, one behind the other, that they're looking to buy.
Oh.
And
Okay.
they wanted to know about feasibility to build back there, and I
Oh.
told them it would probably be limited because just looking at the distance, you're well within the 100 foot. So it'd be limited.
Well, and I did get a call from a Paul Grossman about 128 Joyce Terrace. About
Paul's the owner, right?
no, he works for a construction company. So the new owners, I
They
guess,
sold it?
or they're going to. I don't know. It was. Let me.
But is that one back in the corner?
Yes, it's the little.
Oh, great one.
Yeah.
Little. Little house. 900 square feet.
Okay. Let's see. Crossman, not Grossman. Again. Hard to find it out. A particular property in the Whitman has a lot of what, or not, has a lot of wetlands. Yes, it's the property 128 Joyce Terrace. Just trying to get a feel about what the likelihood is of the Conservation Commission approving any buildings in that wetland buffer area. So I told them if it's, I guess the house was originally built in 1960.
60s, yeah.
So I go, well, things have changed since then. That if you're not going to be able to get anything, like if you're thinking of building something, especially since there's a stream back there,
Yeah.
that it's probably not gonna happen.
Buildings?
What
like,
does he
like
want?
multiple houses?
That's what,
No, he wants like a garage or
Oh.
he called it something.
is it one of those accessory dwellings?
Yes, and I was like, you'd have, for one, you'll have to get a botanist, and you're gonna have to do the, map out the wetlands.
Yes, sir.
You're gonna have to survey it, and that doesn't, which is gonna cost a lot of money, because it's a filing fee for us, plus their time for both of those. And I can't, I wouldn't guarantee that we would be able to let you build. So I told him,
Yeah.
you can do it if you want, but that you're gonna end up, the people that are, whoever, the owners could spend all that money and go nowhere. So he goes, well, I just wanted to make sure, be honest with me. And I just, well, that's as honest
Yeah,
as
they'd
I
be
can be.
hard pressed to do anything else more disturbed, right? They have a lawn back there. I probably would say the lawn is the demarcation of how much we really go for, because it's already been disturbed with the lawn.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know how big you're gonna do,
Yeah.
and how far away from the house versus,
Yeah.
and it's like,
Because that's going into, because I know things change with the accessory dwelling requirements anyway. Obviously, this is not us, but like for the building department, they'd probably have to talk to them too, because I don't know if you can even feasibly,
yeah,
like with the lot size,
Yeah, they would
like
have
as you
to
said,
vary
the
it.
distance from the house and all that.
yeah,
It seems tight.
yeah. So I was
It's
like,
a tight corner.
That's, yeah, I don't know.
So I was like, I'm just telling you right up, I wouldn't want these people to pour out all that money
Yeah.
and then it
You
not
get
happen.
neighbors involved too. And that would
Yeah, and yes,
would
'cause-
say no.
Yeah.
Yes, because of what the other one for what we went through with 870 Temple.
Yeah,
That's kind of the same,
same neighborhood.
because that's the pond. That's
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
the real, certified.
Headwater.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but that's the only call I've gotten.
See what happens. See what they file.
Yeah, they can file, but I wouldn't say I talked him out of it, but I just told him,
In all likely terms.
yeah,
I mean, that's the process. So.
yeah.
Yeah.
But you'd have to file a notice of intent. I'm not gonna just like, oh yeah, we'll.
No.
Yeah, yeah. If they want to do an RDA and those.
Yeah.
whole plan, just-
Yeah.
do
And that's
RDA.
gonna cost money too.
That
So
would cost.
either way. So
The last thing I have is regarding the Bedford Street,
the what?
the Bedford Street property that's across from Peaceful Meadows that we did the handwrite on.
Yes.
So when we did the walk, one of the things that we were looking at as we did the walk is whether or not that piece of property would be feasible for some of the initiatives within the open space plan. It's a beautiful piece of property. It's a lot of wetlands, but there are a couple of dry sections. There's a section that's for agriculture, and then there's 2 easements that are on the project, on that land. So when we walked through, sort of the vision of that spot was for it to become conservation land. And on the recreational side, for the open space plan, it'd make a great dog park. And that was a big thing with the open space plan, is having a dog park. There's already existing trails through the woods. It could be improved a little bit, but then, development of, installation of a fenced-in area for dogs to play. So part of my intention of going to the land grant meeting was to see whether or not that would be feasible for us to pick up. What we did learn during the walk is that the property is under purchase and sale. However, the town, as I've been told, has right of first refusal.
Is that the one that has I don't know how far, but there's a for sale sign that says commercial.
It's not posted, there's no for sale signs on it.
Okay, so that must
Just
be,
before the East Bridgewater.
Yeah.
Isn't it right next to the kennel across from Peaceful Meadows?
yeah, but so what I'm talking
It's
about,
behind it.
right past there.
Oh, that's in East Bridgewater. That's the next one.
Okay.
Yeah.
We wouldn't watch
That's what we thought it was.
Yeah,
sort of
we
walked
saw
in,
that
and
too.
We were like, one front, we were over.
Okay.
So we did a football field of a walk. That we
Yeah.
didn't have to do.
Yeah, we did. So when I went to the land grant meeting and I understood that process, I thought it would be a good idea to pay the owner a visit. So I took a drive to Norwood believe it or not. And I met with one of the owners and had a very good conversation for an hour and a half. We met. And the way I left it with her was that if the property falls through, to notify conservation. She was very excited about the vision for that land and being able to, that one would go into conservation because on the East Bridgewater side, they just donated a lot of land. Mainly because it's wet. We want it.
It's very well.
But she's excited to have the land conserved and even more excited that the property would carry the legacy of the Hogue family who started Peaceful Meadows, and that was all agriculture. So she's part of the Hogue family. So that's the way I left it. And since then, though, I did have a conversation with Mary Beth and Kathy regarding potential purchase of the land, because they do have an offer. And today I met with Ryan Trussell from the Community Preservation Fund, and working with him, he's excited about it. But the steps that obviously have to go through and timing may or may not work. But the ball is kind of rolling. So he sent me the application. I'm doing the application that would go in front of the Community Preservation group to say, yeah, this is great. But just from my initial conversations, he was very excited about it.
Okay.
So I'll keep pursuing that if everybody's okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely,
Well,
definitely.
we did an hour and a half. We had great conversation. So,
Yeah.
Okay, so our next, I'm gonna say we move the bylaws to our next meeting.
Absolutely.
We don't have anything, well, what's her name? And the lady from PMP, it's the same people that did the ANRAD. That she has something else. Courtney. I think her name was Courtney.
Brook is the wetlands act.
yeah.
That another thing, but I can't remember what. Oh, I thought she said Rye Hill, like the. I don't know if it's this the place that we did.
Right,
That,
hell yeah.
we walked. It's over on South Street. You know that one we walked down through the
Next
trees.
to the big development on top of the hill there.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah, so I don't.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
gotcha.
that's. I
Yeah.
couldn't really make out what she said, but I
We
haven't.
did an right there.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
but now she a notice of intent, but I haven't received
Okay.
anything.
Okay.
So
Yep. Okay.
yeah. So anyway,
All right.
Yeah.
but that's the only thing that would I know about that might even come up. So
We did talk about that a little bit during the walk, and they went through a bunch of iterations, reducing scope, trying to move it around, that right.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
it's coming.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
so anyway, our next meeting will be Tuesday, January 6th,
2026.
2026. So yeah, but right now, so we'll have move the bylaw
Yeah.
7 through 10 to that.
Yep.
And at this point, there's nothing right now, but that can change daily.
I had a question on the bylaws, or maybe a suggestion to think about. We've sort of bypassed bylaws the last few meetings. Is it worthwhile to maybe have two people meet to work through it? Because I know you can't have three for
Well,
a meeting.
I don't know if we can. That's the thing. Do we have to have a quorum? Like, because this is an official.
Well, I mean, to draft, at
Item?
least draft and then present the whole thing to the board. I don't know, I'm just kind of thinking of ways how to keep it moving.
I think we'll get to it. I think if there's only one thing on the docket for January 6th, possibly,
Yeah.
which would Rye Hill.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get to it. If we can't get to it in the next meeting or two, maybe we'll just have someone draft a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we do have. I mean, it's available
close.
on Google Drive. You can
Yeah.
go in anytime.
That's true.
Just
Yeah.
you know, and I did. I know you had asked some stuff to the end, and I did try to plug it in. So there is it is a working draft on there.
Yeah.
So
It's right
really,
on.
any of us, anytime, can go in and feel free to just go for it if
Yeah.
you want, and then we can just have. I mean, that's what I guess what can be done ahead of if we know we're going to have some time next meeting. If you guys have time ahead of time to go in and just take a a look, like a preview?
I won't because it's my busy.
Yeah, I know it's a terrible time of year
Yeah.
for you, but yes.
Until like February 1st, it's like
Yes.
I'm going
Yeah.
straight out. So,
Yep. Understood.
so.
I'm just trying to think out of the box.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah,
One shot.
but yeah, if you want to go ahead and, because you have the document that has like what was there and then we can see the changes, right?
Yes, yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
the changes
I'm
are
fine
in
with
there.
that. That way I can know if if I'm reading it, it's like, okay, what was there? What's the proposed change? Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
fine with that.
Yeah, it's in there.
The other thing that kind of just made me remember is, so the file cabinets. The building department utilizes one of the senior citizens so they can get a discount. And that might be, they get a discount on their property taxes. We might.
The building department? What do you?
Department does, yeah. They have a senior citizen that comes over and does all their file stuff. That's in pretty good order. I don't know.
Nope.
No. I'm throwing it out there.
Which is,
No, we don't pay.
No, I don't. But
I get it.
No,
I understand.
because they don't know what. I mean, the building inspector. Not that they can't. I'm not. It's just that these are state for documents and stuff like that. Like the building inspector, they keep copies of ours. I send them our stuff, and they have. But this is stuff that has to be kept for ever. So, and it needs to be in a certain order. And if you
Yeah,
don't know
maybe
what
that-
the order is,
maybe down the line, once we get that organized well, maybe
Yeah,
that's the case.
yes,
But I
yeah.
think we gotta get first a crack at it. Just
yes,
pull everything out.
yes, because we don't even have, it's not even organized.
Yeah, that's
So
what
we don't have like the notice of intents here.
Yeah.
We don't have this. We don't have, it needs.
So just keep it in the back of the mind.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I
Because I know senior citizens are always looking,
Yeah.
for some way to help save on. I should sign up.
There you go.
Yeah,
Well, I'm gonna help out anyways.
yeah, but yeah, because it's like, and we have to like document it too. I have my Excel file, but it needs to be updated because I haven't been quite doing that either. So it's like, it's a whole process that, we need to have. So,
I got it.
okay.
Sounds good.
It is now, well, my watch died, so. It's 8:52, Tuesday, December 16th. I'm closing our meeting.